Hey everyone, it's Boogeyman Ben. Hope everyone's doing well and everyone's having a nice weekend. This is just a quick little video I wanted to do and talk about the new Evil Dead movie. I did see the movie last night, and this is not really going to be a review. I just sort of wanted to talk a little bit about it, not give any spoilers away. But as I've said in a couple of videos in the past, I'm not a huge fan of the Evil Dead movies. I mean, I respect them. I know that there's a huge fan base for them, but never been really that big into them. I really respected the original. The second one's okay. Army of Darkness is okay. They're not movies that I have watched that much. So to be fair, I haven't really watched them as much as I've watched other horror films. But I was really excited about this movie just because it looked to be very different from what I remember the original film to be. So I'm just going to give my 2 cents of what I thought about the Evil Dead movie, and I hope everybody enjoys this video, and stay tuned. So the plot of Evil Dead revolves around 5 friends who are in a remote location in a cabin. They're actually there for the character of Mia, and she is a recovering addict, and they're there. It's sort of like an intervention to sort of get her to kick drugs. And her brother David is there as well. What ends up happening is they end up finding the Necronomicon, or the Book of the Dead, and of course, in the vulnerable state that Mia is in, she is actually taken over by a demon. Now, I think it's great that Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi were a part of this. I don't think the film would have been as well as if somebody had just decided to do a remake of the original film. From what I remember, even though that there are elements from the original Evil Dead in this film, the picture is very different from what I remember the original film to be. There are lots of differences. The Ash character is not in this film, so it's a bunch of new characters. There are things that happen to these characters that, if I remember correctly, happened in the original Evil Dead, but it's a very different beast. And I think his name is Fede Alvarez, who directed the film, did a tremendous job of directing this film. There's a lot of kinetic kind of slow-mo, or I mean not slow-mo, but sort of like some of the scenes felt sped up, sort of similar to how Sam Raimi has directed some of his horror films in the past. I thought that was a great homage. There's also tributes, like I said, to the original Evil Dead in this, but he does a great job directing this film and gives it a tremendous look. It has a real, I felt like in certain scenes it had a real 80s look to it, really low budget look, but the effects in this movie are insane. I mean, there's just, like I said, there's just some gore. So probably one of the goriest films I've seen in a long time. Just tremendous, and it's all practical gore. There are some CGI scenes, mostly involving fire, but for the most part, like, all the blood effects are real. I mean, real. It's practical effects. It's not cheap CGI, and I think it really brings the audience into the picture more. Now, I think the standouts in the cast, there's only 5 people in the cast, but I really feel like the standouts in the cast are Jane Levy as Mia, Shiloh Fernandez as David, and Lou Taylor Pusey as Eric. Those were the strongest in the film. The other the other cast members were fine, but those 3 I think were the standouts. And Jane Levy was just amazing. When she's possessed, she is so creepy. It's her eyes and the way that the director has her, and some of the, like I said, the frenetic and like some of the crazy ways that he either speeds the film up and makes it look kind of like it's going faster than it should, and just it's really creepy. And she does a great job of having that demonic look, and just everything she does is just great in the film. She was the real standout for me. I think she did a terrific job, and I haven't seen her in anything before. I think she's on Shameless on Showtime, but I look forward to seeing her in more films because she did a fantastic job, and I was hooked to her performance right from the get-go. As soon as the film started, she did a great job. I also thought the music by Rogue Banos was really well done as well, and the soundtrack comes out, I believe, on the 9th of April, and I will be picking it up. I mean, it was great music, and I mean, really, there's just nothing bad I can say about the film. I enjoyed it. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I love the film. Look forward to seeing it again. I might see it again in the theaters, but it was a really fun time in the movies. I mean, I really think it was one of the best horror films I've seen in a long time. But again, there are several remakes I really enjoy that I've mentioned before, and I think this is one of the best remakes I've ever seen. But having not been a big fan of the original films, maybe I'm biased, because I wasn't, like I said, I appreciate the original Evil Dead films. I'm not a big fan of Evil Dead 2. I think it's fun, but it's not like a film that I hold as like the best horror film ever made, like some people do, and that's fine. Everybody has their own taste, but maybe I like this more because I'm not as big of a fan of the original films, but I do respect them. I do like the original Evil Dead the best out of the original three. And the rumors I've heard is what they're going to do is they are going to make another Evil Dead sequel to this film. And then I've heard a rumor from, it was a horror convention that happened where Bruce Campbell said they're going to bridge the series. So they're going to bridge the original series and this new series together, which I think is very interesting. So what I'm putting it out to my audience is, tell me what you thought about the new Evil Dead movie. Did you like it? Did you love it? Are you a big fan of the originals? Are you not as much of a fan like I am, or just respect the originals, but you know, you're not as diehard of a fan? So tell me what you think, and look forward to everybody's comments. And again, sorry for not doing the Hannibal Lecter retrospective. I haven't even watched the first episode of the Hannibal TV series yet. I was just too tired and busy this past week. I do have it recorded on my DVR. But I do plan on doing the Hannibal Lecter retrospective movie series probably tomorrow. So look forward to that, and I appreciate everybody watching this, and hope everyone has a nice evening.